travel or to show what is it means for you. This is, so this is why I think we need to prepare, and I prepared with my team a kind of project. I need to find the first page. And we had a very nice team to prepare Bashar visit. So we had 2 years for planning. What we have done, we asked the guy to ask or tell that it is a better way to ask the young generation. So we involve earlier interrupt Rotary members to prepare something to give to somebody who is in the pet sets or health now, or this is conference or whatever, or not just only the Hungarian Rotary Convention or Hungarian Rotary event, but also in the school. So they prepare their stuff with the Rotary clubs, and it is also very nice to have them on board because they involve the adults as well. And when Bashar came, it was also very nice event in Budapest. Everybody goes there. And I think that is very important. If who is involved a kind of fundraising to be there, to invite them and tell the story. The storytelling is very important. And also, if somebody is fundraising, can give it, and they were able to give it to Bashar, and they were very happy to be there and to share their stories together with Bashar. And the other things, what I believe, this is very important to have a civil or other organization to be involved. And we invited the Hungarian Polio Foundation. The secretary and the president came, and they were very surprised. They were telling their story to us. It was very emotional. And this polio defected organization gave polio fundraising to Rotary. We had international meeting, we invited so many people to come, and there was Herbert Ederer from Austria. And he had a chance to talk with this witness who has a polio survivor. They were very nice. It was very emotional. You could see Julia is also there. We were crying when we have received this money from these people as well. And Herbert Ederer decided to give a polio Paul Harris Fellowship to this organization, and you could see there is a Paul Harris Fellow certificate also and the pin in their place. But I believe if we are asking people like Diana was telling, we need to invite people who could say their own experiences. And it was also in my last celebration when I just give the shame to the other district governor. And I think if we are asking, if we are preparing, if we are asking different organizations, we could get more money and we could be a bit further, just one drop of volume. So please be nice and collect, and we can avoid this illness. Thank you very much.
Okay. Last but not least, from my district, 2452, Emil, row 9.
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
We can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Great. Yes.
We can hear you. Okay, go ahead, my friends. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm very sad that I'm not with you physically in the room today, but as you know, the situation forced me due to flight cancellations and due to the situation happening in Lebanon. But I would like to thank the committee for managing, and I would like to thank PDG Altan and past President Sertac and the whole team for making this happen. Okay, so let's go into the topic. My friends, my fellow panelists, they shared some stories. They shared a couple of things on how to reimagine our story. I would like to go more into the general aspect of communication and the general aspect of reimagining our story. So when I talk about this, the first question that comes to mind, what is the last step in order for us to eradicate polio? What is the last step to eradicate polio? Is it prevention? Is it vaccination? Or is it communication? This is a very important question that we really need to take into consideration. There was a time when the word polio really terrified people. It terrified parents. They were afraid that their children might have polio. Today, I can tell you that most of the people, they have never even heard of it, especially the young generation. And this is definitely one of humanity's greatest successes. This is definitely one of Rotary's greatest successes, that's for sure. But that also creates a challenge for us because people don't know the disease. And when they don't know it, they don't longer see the urgency to eradicate it. So I know for a fact that it is thanks to Rotary that I know about polio. It is thanks to Rotary that every single one of you knows about polio, or else maybe we wouldn't have even heard of it. So this is why communication is as important as vaccination if we really want to eradicate polio. I will tell you my personal story regarding this. I was born in 1989 in the late 80s. So as a young person, I can tell you that when I grew up in a world where polio almost disappeared. I've never actually felt it. I've never actually seen it. I never had a hands-on experience in that. If it wasn't for Rotary presentations or Rotary summits like this, I wouldn't have heard of it. So this is why it is very important. I will tell you a story where I actually lived it and felt it. And this is why I would like to also make others feel it as well. And one day I was invited to speak on a panel like this one. I was the only Rotarian to talk about what Rotary has done to eradicate polio, has done so far to eradicate polio. We were 3 people. I was there to talk about Rotary's role in eradicating polio. Next to me was one of the leading infectious disease doctors in Lebanon. And next to him was a polio survivor. That was one of the very rare times where I actually met a polio survivor. It was a very nice experience to talk with him, to have his story. And he was there because he's the father of a Rotary actor, a Lebanese Rotary actor. And it's amazing to see how he got on with his life, how he got to build a family, how he got to build his business. And it was amazing to hear the story of a father, a husband, a normal man living with the consequences of polio. It was really something amazing to see. And during that panel, I was sharing something that I really know about, something that I am really proud of, and something that I'm really proud to share, the story of how Rotary has been working on eradicating polio since the 70s, since the 80s, since it started in the Philippines as one small project, and then it became a global project for Rotary. And during that panel, the doctor explained his part from the medical perspective, saying that if vaccination stops, polio spreads faster than we think. I didn't know that. I knew that polio might have the possibility of coming back. I knew based on the numbers that we have, how polio might come back. However, I didn't know that it's really extreme. I thought that Rotary at some point is still spending a lot of money on a virus, on something that I don't believe we need to spend any more time and money on that anymore, because polio is almost eradicated, only 12 cases left. But then when I understood what the doctor was saying, the stories that he was talking about, how polio cases might come back and how we all carry polio within us, but because it's thanks to the vaccines that we have, our body fights it, and that's why we don't see any consequences of it. And then the survivor also spoke. He talked about growing up with partial paralysis. He spoke about learning to live with something that could have been prevented. He was born in 1954. The polio vaccine came up in 1955, and then the eradication started happening after that. If he was born a few years later, maybe he wouldn't have gotten it. Until that moment, somewhere in my mind, I had thought, okay, polio is almost gone, but why are we still investing so much energy in it? Thanks to that panel, I understood this is why Rotary is doing it. This is why we're doing it. That day really changed my perspective. Also, something that is important struck me that day. And I was telling the other day, my fellow panelists, we were having like a pre-panel discussion together. I was telling them, guys, polio is a word that we understand because we say it in Rotary. But people don't know what polio means. They don't know what the word polio means. It is a medical term. In English, it is called polio. In French, it is called polio. But when you tell people what it is, they don't understand until you explain that it is paralysis of children. In Arabic, for example, we say shalal al-atfal, which actually and literally means children's paralysis. I know that in Turkish, you say çocuk felce, which means also paralysis of children. This is something very important that we actually need to go with this approach for people to understand that polio means paralysis of children. Because I can guarantee you that people who have never heard about polio, people who have never heard what polio means, they don't understand what it means. But when we talk to them and tell them it's paralysis of children, they directly say, wow, what an amazing cause. That's an amazing achievement that you guys have done, because they now understood what it is. So that's why it's very important for us to communicate that it is child paralysis. It is very important to communicate it. So,
vaccine. Quickly, please.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
If you can wrap up.
Yes, I'm wrapping up. This is my final. So vaccines stop the virus, but stories move the people. And if people don't care, vaccination stops. And when vaccination stops, polio comes back. That's why communication is not just storytelling. It's about making sure that we end polio. Communication is eradication. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, dear fellow Rotarians and distinguished guests, thank you for listening and also interacting. On my behalf and on my panelists' behalf, I would like to thank PDG and Abik Altan and PDG and Polio Now coordinator Nicola for organizing this such a important event and inviting us. And I have to say on my behalf that I have always been inspired by them. We've been saying that we are almost there, 99.9% eradicating polio, but we've got one last mile to cross. And we have to work together. We have to work with our communities, as you heard from our panelists, other speakers and panelists. We've got to join our forces. We've got to work with our communities, because if we work together, we become like a superpower to eradicate this polio from the surface of this continent. So thank you very much. And as I'm inspired by Nicola, I would like to say, joining our forces, we become superheroes. We become superpower. So polio now.
Now you have an improvement. Superhero movement. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to remind you to open our sponsor, the workplace review. She's from communication and storytelling, now we move on to climate change and migration. For our next session, I'd like to invite Past President Yaşar Atatürk and the facilitator, Past President Cüneyt Evruke. Take the slide and put your mic up to the stage.
Okay. Okay, now I would like to organize that and everyone who worked. In this episode, we will talk about climate change, migration, and tourism. And I would like to have a very short introductory speech before moving on to my questions. But firstly, today is a very important day for me because I'm a health worker. So today is medicine, holiday, and day. Now, sorry. Questions. Mr. Atatürk, I want to ask some questions, but firstly, I want to give some information about climate change. Climate change increases the average temperature of the world with the increase in greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. As a result of human activities, especially the use of the fossils fuels. Now, climate change is no longer just an environmental issue, it's a social-political issue. According to United Nations Commissioner for Refugees, millions of people are relocated every year due to the climate-related disasters, Polio, an infection disease caused by polio virus, especially affecting children, it can cause permanently paralysis. by damage to nervous system. Thanks to the healthy organization and the global polio eradication, inactive cases are reduced by more than 99% in the world. However, war zones, poverty, migration movements, vaccine access problems increase the risk of the polio reappearance. In connection with these three topics, one of them, climate change, migration, difficulty of healthy systems, disruption of vaccination programs, risk of returning to disease such as polio. So, it's not just about environment, it's about ethics, justice, and global solidarity. Now, my dear Rotarian friends, Mr. Atatürk, I will have some questions for you about climate change, migration, and polio, which are important issues in the world today. And I would like to get your opinion on the approach of Rotary Club members of these problems. Now, I'm asking you my first questions. My first question is, what's the climate change? The year carbon dioxide was fossil fuels 1.5 degrees. What is the connection? How do they cause climate change? Okay, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much. First, climate change is a risk, big risk for many things, and also is a big risk for pollution. I want to give you some very basic information. What is the cause of climate change? We speak so much about it, but we really do not know what is the reason here about fossil fuels, 1.5 degree emissions, etc. What connects all of them to the climate change? I think that's a very basic question. Now, our Earth is a very unique planet. Today, scientists have never found any other planet where life exists as we know. And the reason is it's up by atmosphere, the Earth's atmosphere. All other planets are either very hot, like Mars, for example, or very cold, like Moon, for example. But the Earth is very unique in that the temperature on the Earth varies, say, between minus 50, 60 to plus 60, 70 degrees. And it is truly due to the climate, due to the atmosphere we have. If you think of the sun rays that's coming into the Earth, the atmosphere acts like a cover on the Earth. Think of it as a when you are in bed, there's a cover, and that keeps the warm inside. But since the beginning of the advance of machinery, we have been using coal, burning coal. Then we started burning fuels, and then we started burning even natural gas. When we burn these, one of the gases that comes out of it is carbon dioxide. And the amount of carbon dioxide and similar gases that we emit every year is about 50 to 60 billion tons a year. And all that accumulate on the atmosphere. Atmosphere becomes denser. You can interpret this density as having an additional cover on the Earth, which makes inside warmer. It's the greenhouse effect, as you know. This is greenhouse effect. So the Earth is warmer, and
So far, during the last 150 years or so, it has warmed about 1.5 degrees. And as the warmth increases, then starts meteorological events on the earth that creates winds and waves, and we get all these additional sources. So this is the main problem that we face with the climate change.
Thanks a lot for the first questions. Now, after these details explanation you have given us, first questions. Now, I'm asking you second questions for climate change and this perspective of Rotary Club members. Ask this second questions. How does it affect polio in other areas that Rotarians are concerned about, like peace, healthy? Mr. Atatürk, climate change is causing a lot of harm in the world. Now I'm asking you firstly, you answer the second question.
Okay. So what does all these problems that we are talking about, climate change, affect the world? As you know, we get a lot of heat waves, we get a lot of droughts, we get a lot of fires, we get a lot of tornadoes, floods, etc. I'm sure you have all seen these every day, and that's happening every day. And all these are causing problems for people locally, which means they migrate, they have to go someplace. And when they go, all the diseases that they have is carried out wherever they go. And not only those effects, but there is also a very significant financial effect. Each year, this causes big financial losses. For example, in the year 2024, the financial cost was on the order of $400 billion. $400 billion is maybe 40% more than the GDP of Greece. It's a very big number. And as the years go, with this current trend, these numbers will grow much faster. And then there will not be enough money to fight many of the things, including the polio. So last year, Rotary spent about $150 million on polio. And if we do not terminate it soon, in 10 years' time, there will not be such money. I don't think it will be available. And all these sources, all these effects of climate change is seen by many as very big risk. Maybe every year World Economic Forum publishes a risk assessment. They make a short-term risk assessment, and they also make a long-term, 10 years risk assessment. In their short-term risks, for example, this year the main risk was the fights among states, which actually was realized. But for 10 years' time, number one risk is the effect of these extreme climate effects. That's number one risk currently seen as the World Economic Forum. So it is real, and it is caused by people, and we have to do things.
Mr. Atatürk, climate change is causing a lot of harm in the world, Now I am asking you my third question about this. It's important questions. Now, coming to the third questions, climate change is causing so much damage. Do you think Rotary should take into the consideration this communication in its public image approach?
Yes, climate change is causing so much problem, and people realize, people are fully aware of what's happening. And all the surveys that various organizations carry out throughout the world show that people care about the climate change. For one, in year 2024, there was a big survey made in 77 countries by United Nations Environment Program. And that shows that people care about these events. So 43% of them said that it is worse than usual. 80%, and that's a really big number, 80% of the people think that their government should do more. Government, people are acting actions from the government. And many of them are talking about its influence for the future generations. Yeah, so I think this is something that the public image message that Rotarians give for should include these. And not only that, we should be, this is also an important source for members. So we should be caring about that one also.
Thanks a lot. Now, I will ask you very important questions. 4 questions. What has Rotary done for climate change?
Okay, so what has Rotary done? What has Rotary done? Rotary has established environment as a new area of focus. That's one. And has started giving global grants for these projects. And there's also ESRA, Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, an action group that was established in 2015, and they are doing a lot of things around the world. They are doing projects, they are supporting clubs, and I invite all of you to be member of ESRA. And there are lots of information there, website, newsletter, etc. And there's more work to be done, and we are working on this. But I guess we are running out of time, so maybe I can tell you somewhere else.
Now, finally, questions. This is a very important issue I want to ask. And firstly, I want to explain for my Rotary friends meaning of the ESRA, Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. Now, coming to last questions. What is Rotary ESRA doing now on climate change?
Thank you. So the final question. Now, ESRA has been doing work to bring climate change to the attention of senior Rotary leaders. And at ESRA, we have been in contact with most of the Rotary leaders. And at this time, we want to have a climate change task force to be set up by Rotary International. Unfortunately, with the political developments in the United States, our proposal was not accepted. It was declined by the Rotary International. So now we are starting a pilot program to do it on zone basis. And there are 2 zones that is where this pilot will be implemented. And one of them is South Pacific region in Australia and New Zealand. And the second one is important, it's for zone 21. that has been already accepted by the regional council in South Pacific. And in our zone, our director, Daniel Tanasa, is fully supporting, and over the coming months, we will be working on a pilot program, a pilot task force for climate change in our district, in our zone. So that's the thing that's been quite exciting new development. Thank you for bringing all this to attention. Thank you.
And thank you for very much for information us about this issue strategy. Thanks a lot.
I'd like to invite PDG Altan Arslan and thank you for sharing your expertise. Let's take it back as well. Your collection with as well. We now move on to the next session of our summit, a very happy celebration. A charter ceremony of ethical technology Rotary Club, a new club, a new voice. Now I'd like to invite Assistant Governor Özge Yalçın, and also it's my pleasure to welcome Governor's Club Support Representative, Past President Harun Çetin, to the stage to preside the club charter celebration ceremony. Celebrating so much.
Distinguished Rotary leaders and dear Rotary friends, it's my pleasure to invite Duygu Timur, the club president of the Rotary Club of İncek. Dear District Governor Can Çılgan, dear distinguished governors, post-district governors, district governor-elect, district governor nominee, dear Rotarians and guests. Today, we are not only celebrating the establishment of a new club, but also the ever-renewing vision of Rotary. The founding of the Ethical Technology Rotary Club is a strong reflection of the determination to bring one of the most important fields of our time, technology, together with Rotary's core values. As the İncek Rotary Club, we are very proud to contribute to the birth of such a meaningful club. We sincerely congratulate the founding members, especially our Governor's Special Representative Harun Çetin, and leader of the Ethical Technology Rotary Club will carry out on many inspiring projects that will enrich and inspire the Rotary family. Because we know that in Rotary, every new club represents the reward of hope to make the world a little better, with Rotary love and respect. Welcome to the charter ceremony of the Rotary Club of IT Technology. In Rotary, each new club begins a meaningful journey of service, where goodwill grows, service expands, and Rotary Fellowship reaches wider communities. At the beginning of this year, we set out on this journey with our 17 captains, inspired by the spirit of United for Good, and dedicated to carrying Rotary's light to wider across our districts. Today, with great pride and satisfaction, we see that our shared goal is becoming reality, step by step. Our 3 Rotary clubs have already begun their journey of service. Very soon, we will celebrate together the establishment of the Rotary clubs of Bilecik, Kütahya 30 Ağustos, Gazipaşa, Ankara Yaşam, Anadolu Gastronomisi, Antalya Side, Antalya Termosos in our district.
And today, the Rotary Club of Ethic Technology, with its 21 members, officially joins our Rotary family. This success is the result of the belief and determination of Rotarians united in service, along with the support of valued friends who helped bring this journey to life. We sincerely thank our distinguished District Governor John Sheridan for presenting this vision, Volkan Yıldırım for leading membership development. Also, we will not be here without our captains, the heroes of this journey. Finally, I would like to extend our special thanks to our past district governor, Altan Arslan, who has stood by us throughout this journey with his valuable guidance and strong support. As we celebrate this new step in service, it's my pleasure to invite to the stage, with your applause, the good bull captain, the governor's representative of the Rotary Club of Ethic Technology, Harun Çetin. Please join me in warm welcoming him to the stage.
Firstly, applause for all firefighters, please. Let me explain you a little, because looking at the speech made today, I realized once again how right we were to establish the club. Distinguished members of the protocol, my dear Governor John Sheridan, past district governors, esteemed Astas, governors, dear club presidents, fellow Rotarians, suppose and guests. Welcome to the charter ceremony of the Rotary Club of Ethic Technology. Its English name is Ethical Technology. I have declared the charter ceremony of the Rotary Club of Ethic Technology officially open. Before we proceed with the formal charter presentation, I would like to pause for a moment. We are founding a club called Ethical Technology, but I must ask, in a world shaped by artificial intelligence, data dominance, and exponential technological acceleration, is Rotary ready for the future? Ayşegül is ready. Ayşegül, the first AI agent with Rotary knowledge in our zone. What is your answer, Ayşegül?
Thank you, President. Distinguished Rotary leaders, esteemed trustee, governor, and friends. We are not witnessing a technological revolution. We are witnessing a moral test. Artificial intelligence is powerful. Data is influential. Technology is accelerating beyond regulation, but technology is never the problem. The real question is, who programs it? For more than 100 years, Rotary International has united leaders of character. Rotary was never merely about service projects. It was about responsible leadership. And today, the four-way test is more relevant than ever. Before launching a system, is it the truth? Yeah. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? The world does not need more technology. It needs ethical technology. Ethic Technology Rotary Club is not just a new club, it is a declaration that innovation must be guided by integrity, that digital transformation must include human dignity, that progress without ethics is regression. Rotary is not reacting to the future. Rotary is shaping it. And District 2430 is proving today that leadership in the digital age requires courage, service above self, with lots of Rotary love.
Thank you, Arshil. I couldn't have explained it as well as you did. Yes, let's continue. Today is the beginning of a new Rotary Club, Rotary journey built on service, friendship, and strong ethical values in a changing world. This new club will add strength to our district and Rotary worldwide. I congratulate the charter members and wish the Rotary Club of Ethic Technology great success. At this time, I invite the charter president and charter members to take the Rotary oath and confirm their commitment to Rotary values. Yes, firstly, Aslı is an information technology professional with over 25 years of experience and founder of her own company. Please welcome Aslı.
Hi,
Önder is a founding member and current president of the Rotary Club of Bölge, representing the new generation of Rotary leadership. Please welcome Önder.
Hi everyone, thank you for everything.
Aslıhan is an innovative teacher, training specialist, and international professional coach dedicated to personal development. Please welcome Aslıhan. Aytu is a computer engineer specializing in artificial intelligence and data analytics and a member of Turkish Informatics Associated Young Working Group. Please welcome Aytu.
Hello everyone, it is a pleasure to be in here.
Gülcan is a product manager in artificial intelligence and data analytics with a background in management information systems. Please welcome Gülcan. Buğra is a close friend of mine for 26 years and the person who first introduced me to Rotary. Buğra is a professional in the advertising industry with a strong passion for creativity and music. Please welcome Buğra. Burcu is a lawyer specializing in technology and innovation law. She focusing on emerging digital technologies. Please welcome Burcu. Didem is an award-winning AI filmmaker and director whose films have been screened in more than 60 countries. Please welcome Didem. Fevzi is an internationally respected academic in software engineering and software reliability research. Please welcome Fevzi. Gülşat is a founder of Maths Language and Personal Development School and a researcher in innovative language education. Please welcome Gülşat. Hülya is a project manager with 25 years of experience in information technologies, specializing in data and AI projects. Please welcome Hülya. Lütfi is a business leader with over 40 years of experience and an active contributor to civil society and professional organizations. Please welcome Lütfi. Mehmet Can is a young professional in front-end development and search engine optimization. Please welcome Mehmet Can. Merhaba Hatice is head of the Information Technologies Testing and Certification Department at TSE and TSE and a specialist in technology standards. Please welcome Merhaba Hatice. Metin is a technology entrepreneur working with more than 460 business partners across Turkey. Please welcome Metin. Murat is head of the Information Systems and Cybersecurity Department at the Social Security Institution. Please welcome Murat. Ozan is an artist and illustrator exploring the intersection of art, games, and science fiction. And another is my son. Please welcome Ozan.
Hello everyone, thanks for a great presentation.
Türkiye is a Rotary alumnus and consulting firm partner with a strong interest in futurism and artificial intelligence. Please welcome Türkiye. Mehmet Alkan is a university student researching artificial intelligence, data analytics, and digital systems. Please welcome Mehmet Alkan. Nida is a technology enthusiast and vice president of Turkish Informatics Association Young Working Group. Please welcome Nida. And finally, Selçuk is an IT educator, software developer, and author of nearly 10 books on information technologies. Please welcome Selçuk. Dear members of the Rotary Club of Technology, please join me on the stage. Please welcome. Welcome again. My dear fellows, from this moment on, you have taken your first step into Rotary, a worldwide organization that brings together professionals and leaders dedicated to serving the community, promoting high ethical standards in their professions, and contributing to goodwill, peace, and understanding throughout the world. I trust that your words and your actions will always be in harmony with the truth, fair to all concerned, supportive of goodwill and better friendship, and beneficial to all. Consider the friendship and acquaintances you will develop in Rotary as an opportunity to serve society. We have no doubt that service, as it is for every Rotarian, will also become one of your ideals. You have joined Rotary as a successful professional in your field. The first duty that Rotary entrusts to you is to strengthen these qualities through time and to fulfill your responsibilities to society through service to humanity. To achieve this ideal, one must live and share the Rotary spirit. And this can only be sustained through active participation in Rotary. In accordance with Rotary's rules and traditions, our board of directors has accepted you as a member of this club. The members of our club and fellow Rotarians are pleased and honored to welcome you among us. For the responsibilities you will undertake in Rotary in the future, I wish you every success. As President, I am honored to formally welcome you as a member of our club. Welcome to Rotary. My dear friends, please rise to listen to the Rotary Declaration. My friends, please.
As a Rotarian and a professional, I declare that I'll regard my vocation and profession as an opportunity to serve society. I'll remain faithful to spirit and principles of my profession, the laws of my country, and ethical standards of community in which I live. I will make every effort to honor my profession and to develop and practice the highest ethical standards in the work I have chosen. I will act with honesty and integrity towards my employers, colleagues, employees, partners, competitors, customers, and all those with whom I interact in my professional life. I recognize and respect the dignity and value of all professions that contribute to the welfare of society. I will use my professional abilities to support young people, help others in solving their professional challenges, and contribute to improving the quality of life in our community. I will remain committed to principles of honesty in all advertising and communications related to my profession. I will, in my professional relationship with fellow Rotarians, I will always remain faithful to formalities, and I will not expect special rules and advantages beyond those ethical principles. Altogether, I hereby accept and affirm these principles as a Rotarian and a professional.
Thank you, Bishop. I understand. My dear friends, you might know, take your seats. I know you might, Miss Julia Molnar, Mr. Taştan Altman, Miss Elizabeth Kovacs, please. Mr. Nikola Bozuk, and Mr. Ahmet Sağlar. Evet. Finally, friends, I will invite Mr. Sorry, District Governor, Mr. Can Çırgan. İkinci Altan. Coming to stage to present our president with the Rotary pin, club flags and necklace. Let's immortalize this moment with a photograph. By friend. Thank you. We are now approaching the conclusion of the ceremony. Finally, I would like to invite the new president to the stage to give a short speech.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Distinguished trustee, dear government, past district governments, estimated Rotary leaders, fellow rotation, and foreign guests. Today is a very special day for all of us. The Ethic Technology Rotary Club was founded with a simple but powerful value. That technology must always be guided by ethics, responsibility, and service to humanity. We are living in a time when artificial intelligence, data, and digital systems shape our daily lives. But technology alone does not define the future. People do. And Rotary brings together people who believe in integrated friendship and service above self. Our club aims and bring together professional, academics, entrepreneurs, and creative minds to win works to ensure that technology is developed and used for benefits and social. We are proud to be part listening to 1430 and global family of Rotary International. I would like to thank everyone who contributed to the destination of this club and everyone who joined us today to celebration this moment. Together, we will work to ensure that innovation is guided by ethics and technology service community. Thank you for being part of the beginning. United Portland. Thank you. My role is done. Thank you very much.
Last part, we congratulate and extend our best wishes to all fellow Rotarians on the language of the ethic technology Rotary. Maybe you need a break for just 10 minutes. It should be a short break, I know. To refresh and also to connect. It's the break time. For public.
Dördüncü oluyor. Kafe direktman dördüncü oluyor. Sonra ikimiz. Yani. İdarede şaka yaptım. Geçmişe kalsın. Geçmişe yapmıyorum. Ha, şey nerede? Dur bir bitsin, ilk devam ediyor, para soruyor. Hayır, düğün değil ki, pazartesi günü halledecek bir tane. Bunlar fatura kesiyor. Bunu böyle aldı. İki oturum kaldı. Bak.
I'm just what you dream. But I don't know if I'm in there. I stay to faith. But I don't know if I'm in there. I'm still
Take your seats so that welcome back. Hello, Rotarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Our next session focuses on a current, in fact, global concern, artificial intelligence and its use. How can we use AI for our polio challenge? We have the online connection for our speaker, and past President, Assistant Governor James Suga is going to facilitate the session. Hello and welcome.
Hello from District 2485 from Pristina.
Good afternoon to everybody. I think you can hear me. Also, you can hear me.
Yes.
You see me right now. Okay. This session is about the AI used in the research. I think it's well, we have very distinguished guest from Kosovo. Florentin is a PhD candidate in entrepreneurship and innovativeness with over 20 years experience in leadership, human resources, and organizational development across banking, private and non-governmental sector in Kosovo, Western Europe, and Latin America. Her work bridges research and practice focusing on leadership, innovation, and corporate entrepreneurship as drivers of sustainable impact. And also, she is 2485 District Governor for 2026-27. Very committed to Rotary's global mission, particularly polio eradication. Well, I think in a year or two, everybody's talking about AI. Is that like a passion word? Well, what is it? What is in it for us? I think everybody uses somehow AI. Everybody is calling the things AI, and everybody is doing the things with AI. I think this AI grabs us, in so many ways. Therefore, Rotary should be in this. But I don't know what are the challenges. What are the challenges really, Valentin?
Thank you, Cengiz, first of all, for very nice introduction, and dear all zone leaders, past district governors, district governor-elects, and fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to be with you. Unfortunately, this time it happened to be online. And talking about challenges, actually, what really we want to know when we in Rotary, we serve in the community, is that we know that we are aware that it's highly important to better communicate, to know which is the best way how we communicate with our communities. In general, what we are seeing now, specifically when it comes to, which is related to end polio, what we see now in the immunization process, is that there tends to be a lot of misinformation that spreads really fast, specifically through very different social media that are being used. And we are also witnessing different types of theories that a certain vaccine can cause a certain disorder, which scientifically based for us who have studied in this respective fields, we know that is not actually, does not stand. Nevertheless, we cannot judge community because we are receiving all the time this specific information. All this information that we can say it's like a coming in seconds, very different information that might lead to negative aspects in immunization is really causing an issue for us when we are working on the increased awareness, why immunization is important and why it is important that we still do the fundraising for End Polio, because if we do not continue to do that, it really can come back. So using this, one of the information, the social media is, this rapidly spread of information is one of the challenges. And that's why we really have to use AI tools to be more sophisticated, which I know that both of us will be talking in the other few minutes. Other than that, what we do see in practice is that there are some specific communities, specifically communities who are at disadvantage, be it economic, social, that sometimes they do not trust all the health campaigns. And we do see that in our district as well, because there are some very tiny communities that are more closed one to another, and they do not access, so the health campaigns in general do not access to them, and this is leading to their lower level of immunization, and then we will know which is the result. On the other hand, what we actually are also what we are also aware is that the whole disinformation is being spread very fast, so even our actions has to be faster. So I do see in the Rotary perspective, when we are working on when we are doing both fundraising, but also when we are speaking to the community to make sure that the immunization is really happening at the percentage that we really want to happen, is that we have to be faster. We need to have a faster and a more smarter outreach. So this basically our approach. So this is actually the challenge, because the challenge is that we cannot wait. We cannot wait only if we are doing a certain campaign. We cannot wait in 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, or 6 months, which is going to be the result, because there are many other informations which might be distorted, which are being presented. Then what we see on the end of the community wise, it is sometimes for the communities in general, it's just too hard to differentiate if a certain information is a fake information or it's not a fake information. That's why I remember when we started to discuss about how AI can really support that, is basically the challenges that we are having now, AI is one of the solutions.
Definitely seems to be. I think everybody is talking and using and things like this. We should be cope with it, but the Rotary seems to be slow sometimes for the people. I don't know how we cope with it.
Well, frankly, I professionally I have a background in psychology, and even I'm speaking about AI, and I do use it as well myself. I really want to emphasize that AI is only a tool and will never and should never replace a person. So basically, that's why how we are coping in Rotary on that is that I think that, no, I do see the trend. We do use AI, but I think what is important even amongst us Rotarians is more to increase awareness that AI is a tool, but then we are the ones who are making sure how we are using the respective tool itself. And I saw, because I joined the session a bit earlier, and I saw that there was a digital assembly presentation, and even on the presentation it was stated that it really depends who is coding AI. So I think that in this regard, I think that it's more that amongst us Rotarians, we should discuss it more, to be open, to embrace AI itself, but all the time to be aware that AI is a tool that we are managing and AI is not managing us.
But that's right. I think we are, in some point, some are leading us that way, some are leading us that way. Some are conservative, but the main thing is happening, as we see earlier on this stage, that there is a, let's say, fake president or Rotarian on the spot. Well, this is helpful. What is your final thoughts? I mean, how we go there? I mean, because I think it's really like a fashion, but of course very useful on some points. The creation, as you mentioned, creation, the things that we never thought of, the create in that respect. What is your thoughts? How you lead us? I mean, on the AI era somehow within the Rotary or with the Rotary.
I think that AI tools actually, when we see specifically speaking about the end polio, is that we have to cluster it how we can best use. So first of all, the artificial tools, intelligence tools are the best way to use it when we want to develop awareness campaigns. Why this is very important. We know that us as Rotarians, we have different professions, and we do not have all the time the person who has expertise or has a profession in PR. And then sometimes it's also hard for us to do the certain campaigns because maybe we are not sure if we are reaching the right way the community. That's why the AI actually tools can really support us, and then each and every Rotarian can know which is the best way how we are going to talk to the community when we're speaking about polio on one hand for vaccination, but on the other hand for fundraising too. A very important aspect of AI is also to monitor social media, because we know that actually there's a content and we cannot change the fact. We're going to be, the more it is being developed and the communication and the tools and the social media, we are aware that there's going to be all the time fake information. But other than that, AI tools can really detect which is the information being spread and to which community it is accessing. So I think this is a very critical, and as well, we also can get information from AI tools, really can do the analysis of if we are using a certain type of communication, is it really reaching the community or not? So this is something very important because, and also this will be very cost effective, because we know that if the respective campaign is not working, then we know how to adapt and how to change quickly, and also not to lose so much funding. One of the other critical components of AI, how it can be really used, is to engage community, because, you know, speaking to the community is not a one-way conversation. We really want them to be part of the discussion. So in this situation, the AI can really support us to really know, to have a social listening and to really know what the community actually needs and which is the best way they can get the information and which is the best way for them to be engaged and to understand that end polio, it's if it's distant to us currently, does not necessarily mean that it is distant forever until we eradicate until the end. And I speak that also for the example of in our district, because we do not have polio cases. And then when speaking to the community, people do feel the distance. That's why the AI tools really can make us understand which is the way and how the community really wants to talk to them. Maybe we can just go another slide beforehand, because the community need identification is also one of the components that AI can really support. And I can share an example of what we do at our district. One of the other UN organizations that deals a lot with immunization, we are all aware, it is UNICEF. So in the both countries of the district, Albania and Kosovo, they do conduct a household survey, which is called Mix Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey. So basically for us as Rotarians, it is that is a highly reliable source of information. So we cannot go with the teams there, but on the other hand, we get all the information that are being surveyed within the community, and then we AI tools, we do the best way the analysis, how to the best way to reach those community in order to work on polio. So basically, AI tools can be used as a tool for us to save time, to get the right information, though we must make sure that while using AI, we are protecting privacy of the data. And also, as it being said, it really depends. We have to make sure that we are ethical and that we are using the data only for the right purpose, which of course for us Rotarians is not, because we do have the four-way test. And that was, I also liked in the previous presentation, the four-way test, it really is really relevant now. But I think that AI is a very important tool. Nevertheless, we have to make sure that we are using for the best of the community.
That's very good point. You tied up to the four-way test, four-way test. That's really nice for the Rotary group like this. I think in a short time you really gave us really good hints on how we use this on each and every aspect of the society. I think people will carry
or take away these to the home and to the clubs to really study. I think that will affect in a year or two, actually, this sort of talks or this sort of leads, let's say, to take us, in a proper way. I think also you're right that we should communicate very, very good in each and every aspect, how we use in the way of good, in the way of doing good, I believe. Before leaving, I think we have a couple of minutes left, but we are, thanks to the AI and technology, we are just in time almost. Thank you very much, Valentin. Before we leave, can you add something?
Thank you so much. Actually, yes, the only thing I would leave as a takeaway is that we should not be afraid of AI. We should take control over it. Because if we are afraid and if it seems unfamiliar and new, we might resist it. So basically, we should not be afraid. We should embrace and just make it use of how it can make our time and also our goals achieved in general, but also specifically to the end polio. So thank you. It has been a pleasure to talk about this topic.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your really, I think then also we understand how we use the new charter club, the technology in that way as well. I think people or the clubs will ask them, how they use this technology in a proper way, like you. Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you so much. And we'd like to invite to the stage PDG Nikola Vucic. Okay. Then PDG Altan Arslan. Thank you so much, PDG.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll send you on PDF of this.
We will send the certificates to all online participants and guest speakers. Thank you so much. The next panel revolves around another highly topical issue, that's motivating young people. The next generation, motivating young Rotarians, Rotaractors, and communities. Now it's my privilege to invite Past President Özge Yalçın and Ms. Caroline Lopez, Club President-elect Evrim Çelebioglu, Past District Rotaract Representative Borislava Dineva, Past District Interact Representative Alara Serdar to share their insights and unique perspectives. Thank you. Yeah, I invite you.
Distinguished Rotary leaders, dear Rotary friends, before we begin, I would like to recognize the incredible leadership of Rotary in the fight against polio. Over the years, Rotary members around the world have worked tirelessly, raising awareness, supporting vaccination, and leading the global effort to end polio. Thanks to their dedication and partnership with many organizations, we are closer than over to a polio-free world. However, younger generations have never experienced polio. They haven't seen the outbreaks of the suffering it caused. Because of this, an important question remains: how can young people protect the progress that has been made to help ensure that polio disappears completely? Today, we will discuss the role of the next generation and that we should teach them so they can carry this important mission forward. Now, let's start with our young speakers. Dear Rosliva. I have less questions, right?
What does polio mean to your generation? How can Rotary create a greater impact in the fight against polio? Good afternoon, everyone. It's honor to be here today and to represent District 2482 from Bulgaria in this important conversation about the future of the fight against polio. I would like to reflect on these two questions. What does polio mean to my generation, and how can Rotary actors create bigger impact in the fight against polio? For my generation, as you said, polio is something we have never seen. We have never experienced the fear of previous generation felt when outbreaks were spreading through the community. We have never seen hospitals full with children affected by paralysis. And in many ways, this great success of global initiative led by Rotary International through the campaign End Polio Now. But in fact, Europe, including Bulgaria, have been certified polio-free since 2002 by the World Health Organization. This means that many people in my generation grow up in a world where polio simply did not exist. But the success also create a challenge. When the disease become invisible, it became harder to explain why the fight must continue. And personally, this topic is very important for me for two reasons. First, I'm a medical doctor. Because of my profession, I see every day how important prevention, vaccination, and public health are for protecting the community. And second, I have been part of Rotary family since 2012. Over these years, I have seen how a lot of very committed Rotary members and they're very improving global health by protecting future generation. And this why engagement, storytelling, and consistent reminders are so important today. This is where Rotary can create much bigger impact. Rotary connects Rotary mission with new generation. Rotary speaks the language of young people. They use modern community channels, and they can translate Rotary humanitarian goals into local community action. One of the most powerful things Rotary can do is to keep the mission visible. In district in Bulgaria, we try to do exactly this through small but meaningful actions. For example, at every district event, we have a large teddy bear that has become something like a mascot for this cause. The teddy bear wears a t-shirt signed "End Polio Now" and holding like a table with some words that help us to make a donation to the End Polio Now. It seems like a small idea, but actually it works because it creates curiosity and start conversation, and it reminds people why we are there. We also encourage donation during the event by offering some small gifts. For example, one of the traditional Bulgarian bracelets called Martenica, like this, we received when we make a donation as a thank you from the organization team. And these small gestures create a personal commitment to the cause. But perhaps the most important initiative we are introducing is something even simpler. At every district event, we plan to include a short 5-minute presentation about polio, a moment to remember about the progress, to remind about the challenges and why the mission is not finished yet, because awareness must be continuous. And the fight against polio is one of the most powerful examples of what global cooperation can achieve. But we are now in our final stage, and history shows that the last mile still is always the hardest. And this is exactly why the energy, creativity, and leadership of young people are so important. My generation may not remember a world with polio, But we have the opportunity to be the generation that finish the fight against it. And this responsibility we should be proud to carry on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Roseva. Dear everyone, why do young people, Rotarians and Rotaractors, struggle to relate to polio? Why do you think we're behind all this time?
Thank you, Osman. Good evening, everyone. I know that we are one of the last speakers, so we decided to make it as fast as we can. So, before starting, I would like to point out something. Today, past district governor Gila, if I'm saying correct, asked the name of the inventor of polio vaccine. I did know the name because I have added that name to my speech, because that man invented the vaccine against the time that at that time polio was a big disease. He could have won millions of dollars for itself, but after inventing it, he made it open patent. So it's one of the reasons we are having this fight against polio like this. So I think we have to honor him much more. I don't know, maybe a badge like Police Fellow badge, like for Jonas Salk. I don't know. It's up to the decision maker of ourselves, but we have to do more for his name. So, I think we need to start with one honest fact. Many young people do not know that polio is still a threat. I know that this have been said in here. Their awareness is low, not because they do not care, but because we have been too successful. In a strange way, this is the price of our success. For many people in the new generation, polio feels like an old story, something from the past, something far away, not something urgent. Of course, we know that it is not true, but this is a real threat for us. Because if young people do not feel close to the issue, they will not feel the need to act. And if young Rotarians are not involved enough, then we have to ask ourselves why. I started my Rotary journey in 2012 as a Rotary active. That is why I'm counted as young fellows here. Now I am in my 14th year. I believe I am a committed Rotary. But let me say something very open. If I wanted to join a vaccination team in another country and take part in a real polio campaign, I don't clearly know what I need to do. And how many people in this room feel the same way? I don't know. Do we have a clear path for that? Do we have a simple way for young Rotarians and Rotaractors to apply, join, and serve in the field? Maybe we do. But if we do, it is not visible enough. It is not easy enough. And that is a problem, real problem. Because if active Rotarians do not know the way, young people outside our inner circles will definitely not know it either. I know that it is not easy nor safe to work in the field for polio, but there should be a safe option somewhere. We have to take young people to reality. They are surrounded with artificial materials. They have to witness the reality that polio is still a threat. And we need to make this much easier. We need simple application paths, clear information, clear steps, a real system that helps young people take part in polio work directly. And maybe we should think more boldly. For example, if Rotary actors raise a certain amount, like $10 or anything, polio plus, to polio plus. Maybe they can enter a global selection process. Maybe some of them can earn the chance to join the real polio projects in the field. We have global partners we talked about, like WHO, like CDC, like UNICEF. Maybe some of our youngsters, young Rotarians wants to be involved with UNICEF, with Rotary connections. We can support UNICEF with human resources, and they can support us with protection and logistics. That can happen. I'm just thinking out loud, right? And if you do that, I think we should also give special attention to young people who know how to use social media, because this is another truth we need to face. As Rotary, we are still not using social media well enough. We are 1.2 million, right? If we add it to our families, our children, 3 to 3.5 million people we are in the world. How many followers does our official Instagram page have? Do we know it? 300,000, maybe 350,000. It's not enough. We have to do more. So today, people are moved by social media. People learn through social media. People join causes through social media. That is how the world works now. That is our reality now, whether we accept it or not. We need more real stories like we are doing in the summit. More real people at social media, more short videos, more field experience, more young faces, more content that feels alive. Attention is all you need to move people into action. That was true yesterday, and it is still true today. The difference now is that social media is where of that attention is captured. And I think we are behind in this, because it's very hard for young people to, maybe it's because of the young people to reach decision-making spaces in our system. Of course, merit matters, experience matters. I fully respect that, and I'm not against that at all. But I still think we need to ask some difficult questions. How long does it take for some to have a real voice in the global polio effort or in Rotary? How many years does a person need before they can help shape the conversation, not just support it? Let me guess, 10, 12, 15 years, maybe 20. We have to lower that number. Why? Because the world is changing faster and faster now. 10 years ago, 10 years of age gap is a big difference right now. More than 30, 50 years ago, it wasn't a problem like this now. But now, 10 years of age gap is a real big difference. I feel it by myself. That's why I'm saying this. This is not a criticism of any kind. It is a call for connection. We have to have different voices from different ages in our global and local communities. Because if we want young people to carry this cause forward, then we cannot ask them only to donate, attend, and applaud. We also have to ask them to think, to be able to speak, to lead. At the very least, we need to find ways to bring more young people into communities, into planning groups, into campaign work, into communication teams. Not only because they are young, but because they understand the language of the people we are trying to reach. We must open the doors wider so they won't hesitate joining. We should bring young people closer so we know each other better. We have to trust them earlier so they can be a part of, and let them tell this story in today's language. If we want the next generation to own this house, we must stop asking them only to support it. We must invite them to share it. And if we do that, they will not just inherit the dream of ending polio, they will be the generation that finished it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Ebru. Now it's dear Karadili. We would like to hear the thoughts of perspectives of a young person from Brazil to on the end of polio.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carolina Alessandra Borpaglio Lopes, but most people call me Carol. I was born and raised in a really small town in Brazil, and now I'm a currently Rotary Youth Exchange student here in Turkey. I have been involved with Rotary through Interact, where I participated in initiatives, leadership, and community service. This experience helped me to understand how young people can act to important global causes. Today, I would like to share why young people are so important in the mission of end polio, and also share a little bit my own experience in Brazil. Most people feel like polio is a disease from the past. Most of this is because most of us have never seen someone infected by the disease in our daily lives. Since the vaccination have been very successful, the disease has been over in many parts of the world. How can we see in the map over here? But in reality, polio still exists, and it still is eradicated everywhere the work is not finished. Awareness is very important, and that's why young people are such a powerful voice in it. Youth can make a really difference. They have a unique role raising learners, especially in global issues. Through schools, community projects, and social media, they can spread information and encourage others to learn about vaccination and public health. Talking about social media, why don't we take a picture to share in social media? Please, everybody smiling. I'm gonna share this with my mom also. When the message came from people of the same generation, they often feel more relatable and easier to understand. Even a small action, as talking with friends, sharing idea, or supporting local initiatives, can create a big difference. And you guys know what this means? This means that we are this close to eradicate polio. This, by the way, is one of my favorite pictures with the other exchange students here in the district. Around the world, many young people are becoming ambassadors for important global causes. Through Rotary programs such as Interact, Rotaract, and Rotary Youth Exchange, we have the opportunity to help to create bridges between the world. Here, as a youth exchange, we are not learning about new cultures. Even though the halai become my favorite dance, we also become bridges between people, sharing ideas and values. Youth exchange creates a generation that understands the importance of solve global issues. And to share a bit about my own experience, I like to say the experience that showed me the responsibility that I was taking in Brazil. During my time in Interact, I actively participated in activities against polio. Since I'm from a really small town, many families have still a lot of doubts or concerns about vaccination. Our club mainly work in schools, talking with parents and kids to explain the importance of vaccines. We even invited Zagotinha, this lovely carrot in Brazil, that symbolizes and encourages little kids to see how important the vaccination is. And with these guys, during the activities that I did, I learned how character can change a little minds of kids. So why don't we create a Zagotinha around the world to help the kids to understand the importance? All this experience helped me to see firsthand the really importance that education and community engagement can help to create public health. It also reinforced my belief on the volunteer work to make a positive difference in people's lives. If we want to completely eliminate polio, the next generation must continue this work. We have the opportunity to carry forward the work that Rotary started many years ago. by educating our communities, carrying forward all the work, supporting vaccines, and talking about public health, we can move closer to a world without polio. And ending polio is not only about eliminating a disease. Ending polio is about protecting our children, strengthening our communities, and create a healthier future to all of us. And I truly believe that together we can be the generations that finish this work, that we are the generations to end polio now. So let's together make history today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Caroline. Dear Alara, what is the next generation importance in ending polio and what we teach them today? How does cooperation between Rotary and Rotaract help end polio?
Distinguished Rotarians, governors, and dear friends and service. Today, I would like to share a perspective that complements the polio story you already know so well. This will not be a speech explaining what polio is or nor a reminder why it matters. Instead, I would like to speak about the role of the next generation and how Rotaractors translate this historic mission into continuous action, projects, and collective responsibility. I believe the next generation is critical because polio eradication is not only a medical challenge, it's also a human commitment that must be sustained across generations. The generation before us built something extraordinary. Through decades of persistence, partnership, and leadership, they transformed what once seemed impossible into something that is now within reach. But the final step in a mission like this is often the most difficult one. It requires the same determination, the same belief, and the same collective responsibility from those who follow. What we need to teach young people today is meaningful global challenge does not come overnight. It's built through patience, collaboration, and long-term commitment. When young people understand that they are part of a story that began before them and it will continue after them, they no longer see this mission as someone else's work. They begin to see it as their own responsibility to carry forward. For the directors, polio is not simply a historical campaign that belongs to the past. It's also an unfinished responsibility. It's a mission that continues to demand attention, creativity, and persistence. However, there is an important reality we must acknowledge. Most members of my generation did not personally witness polio at its most devastating stage. We did not grow up seeing hospitals with children affected by it, and we did not experience the fear that earlier generations lived through. For many young people today, polio exists mainly as numbers, statistics, and reports. And when something only exists as number, it can easily start to feel distant. In fact, until about 2 weeks ago, polio was also something I mainly understood through those numbers and through the incredible work Rotary has carried out decades. But while preparing for this speech, something unexpected happened. By coincidence, I had the opportunity to meet someone who had contracted polio as a child and who still lives with its effect today. Today, listening to the story changed something for me. In the moment, polio was no longer statistics and it was no longer campaign. It became a human story. It became a child who is shaped by a disease that should no longer exist in our world. That conversation reminded me how close this disease was to everyday life, and how important it is that we never allow it to return. When a problem becomes invisible, the danger is not disappears. The danger is that people stop paying attention. And this is exactly where Rotary became incredibly important. The collaboration between Rotary and Rotary creates a powerful balance between experience and new generation. Many Rotaries have dedicated years of effort to fight against polio, developing projects, building partnerships, and gaining deep knowledge about the global mission. For younger generations, Learning from the experience is extremely valuable because without their guidance, we could easily find ourselves navigating this mission with uncertainty. At the same time, Rotary has the potential to act as powerful force multiplier for Rotary's historic mission. While Rotary provides experience, credibility, and long-term leadership, Rotary brings energy, creativity, and direct access to younger communities. Rotaractors are able to translate Rotary's mission into a language that the next generation understands. When these strengths come together, the mission becomes stronger, ensuring that the knowledge of the past and momentum of the next generation move forward together toward a polio-free world. One of the most essential contributions Rotaracts make is keeping polio visible in the world, constantly move from one crisis to another. Rotary clubs across the world actively organize World Polio Day activities that go far beyond symbolic recognition. This includes university panels, public awareness campaigns, community information sessions, and etc. Polio presented in public conversation with this way. Many clubs design online donation campaigns and social media challenges that allow hundreds of small contributions to accumulate into meaningful impact. In many cities, Rotaractors organize Purple for Polio initiatives, lighting public space in purple and creativity visual installation that remind communities about ongoing mission of eradication. These actions may appear symbolic, but they play a powerful role in maintaining awareness, ensuring that the story of polio is not forgotten. What makes these projects powerful is not their individual scale, but their collective impact. A single charity run awareness event may appear modest, yet when thousands of Rotary clubs are organized similar initiatives across countries and continents, those efforts become part of a global movement. Many polio initiatives are intentionally designed as joint Rotary projects. Rotary brings institutional memory, creativity, and strategic experience. Rotary contributes adaptability and access to younger ideas. When these strengths come together, the result is not simply a cooperation but amplified impact. Continuity is also essential. Working intentionally to document success projects, transfer knowledge, and integrate polio initiatives into long-term planning. In this way, commitment to polio does not depend solely on individual leaders, but become part of the organization culture. The members learn about polio not as passive observers, but as proactive contribution to the global health mission. At the zone level, the visibility of Rotary's initiatives becomes even more important. Platforms like this allow successful models to share across district and help ensure that polio remains a living mission rather than simply a historical achievement. And this brings us back to the role of next generation. Rotaractors are not waiting to inherit the polio mission someday in the future. We are already carrying it today. Through awareness, education, fundraising, international collaboration, and continuous projects development. Rotaractors contribute every single day to effort of polio eradication. For us, polio is not remembered as the past success. It's practiced as ongoing responsibility. And until the very last case of polio disappears, Rotaractors around the world will continue to stand beside Rotary with responsibility, determination, and hope. And the day of the world becomes officially polio-free will not belong to one generation alone. It will belong to all of us who refuse to stop before the finish line. Thank you very much.
Dear Groseva, Ariel, Carolini, and Alara, thank you for your ideas and precious inspirations. It's clear that the next generation will play a key role in ending polio.
Thank you so much for the really unique, enlightening, inspiring perspectives of the young generation. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite you for that. We will now proceed to the last moderated session, Hope, Responsibility and Global Unity. Our distinguished speaker is PDG Hasan Akbayrak, and the session will be moderated by Vice President Aylin Özkan. I would like to invite them to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to introduce our next speaker, a leader whose dedication to the Rotary Foundation spans both local and zones. A past district governor of District 24-20, he currently serves as the TRF Peace Measure Gifts Initiative Advisor and Plan Lead for Zones 21 and 22. With the discussions record international leadership, including his roles and commitments as arms multiple international essential conventions. He is a vital voice in journey towards 2025 Calgary Convention. Please join me welcoming a member of the Rotary Club of Istanbul, Fındıklı, Mr. Hasan Akbayrak.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, my dear friends, my dear Rotary family. Before I begin, I would like to invite you to imagine something. Imagine a child who will be born 50 years from now. The child will grow up in a world shaped by the very choices we make today. That child will never know our names, but the world we leave behind will shape the child's life. And that raises an important question for all of us. What kind of ancestors do we want to be? Today, I would like to reflect on the question through three points: poetry, science, and the work of Rotary. Let me begin with a short poem by the American poet Emily Dickinson, who lived in the 19th century, having composed almost 1,800 poems, but during her lifetime, she was not well understood. One of her most beautiful poems expresses our idea very clearly, and I would like to share it with you. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, one cool one pain, or help one fainting robin onto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. These lines express a simple but a powerful idea. A life gains meaning when we reduce the suffering of others. If we can ease someone's pain, if we can even help one fragile life, then our lives is not lived and pain. More than a century later, the Australian-born philosopher Roman Krishnarik explored a similar idea in his book, The Good Ancestor. He asks us many powerful questions like, how can we become better ancestors for future generations 100 years from now? We have received the nature and the wisdom that is passed down to us from our nameless ancestors as gifts. So, what can we give to the future? And questions like this. In short, what kind of ancestors do we want to be? The modern society often focuses on short-term success and immediate results. But the decisions we make today will shape the lives of people who will live decades or even centuries after us. To think about future in this way is to become a good ancestor. Interestingly, the same question was asked decades earlier by the scientists who developed the first effective polio vaccine, Jonas Salk. Well, I hope I don't need to talk about him or explain who he is, right? We all know about him, yeah. In the early 20th century, polio was one of the most deadly and feared diseases in the world. Every year, tens of thousands of children were left permanently paralyzed, if not dead. Parents were afraid to let their children swim in the pools. Hospitals were filled with young patients struggling to breathe. When Jonas Salk developed the polio vaccine in 1955, it became one of the greatest medical breakthroughs in history. But what he did next revealed something even more extraordinary. He refused to patent the vaccine. When a journalist asked who owned the patent, Salk replied, "The people. Could you patent the sun?" Because the vaccine was freely shared, it spread rapidly all around the world and saved millions of lives. Salk believed that scientific discoveries carries responsibility, not only to the present generation, but also to future generations. And he once said, "Our greatest responsibility is to be good ancestors." Today, Rotary continues this spirit through the global campaign and Polio Now. For more than 3 decades, Rotarians around the world have worked tirelessly to eliminate polio. Volunteers travel to remote communities. Health workers vaccinate children at the very risk of losing their own lives. You have listened to so many stories so far. Communities cooperate across cultures, languages, and borders. Rotary has partnered with organizations such as World Health Organization and UNICEF in one of the largest public health initiatives in history. You have heard so many things in these 2 days. As a result of these efforts, polio cases worldwide have been reduced by more than 99.9%. Every vaccination protects the child. Each child protected prevents suffering in the future. These acts of service may seem small when viewed individually, but together they represent one of the greatest humanitarian achievements of our time. At the Salk Institute for Biological Studies, where Jonas Salk later continued his research, a simple message appears: be a good ancestor. It reminds us that the choices we make today shape the world that which future generations will inherit. So, we return to our question. What kind of ancestors do we want to be? Rotary's work offers a hopeful answer by protecting the children we may never meet, by working together across nations and cultures, and by living the principle of service above self. We are helping to build a healthier and more hopeful future. And in doing so, we return to the quiet wisdom of Emily Dickinson. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If our service can protect even one child, if our actions can ease even one family's suffering, then our lives, our service are not lived in vain. And perhaps that it is what it means to become good ancestors. People from different nations, different cultures, and sometimes even different histories working together to protect the future of children everywhere. That is the spirit of Rotary. My dear friends, in conclusion, I believe two words describe the true Rotary spirit in full: compassion and wisdom. Compassion it is because wherever there is a cry, wherever there is pain and suffering, we feel it. The cry, we hear it. And what we cannot do is to stand still. We take action no matter what to touch these lives. Wisdom it is, because we do the right thing in the right time, in the right place, with the right people, in the right way. We don't do things our selfish egos dictate us to do, but we listen to people in need, discover the real need, find ways to bring solution to it. We do not stop at feeling. We organize, we plan, and we act strategically. However, let me also add, compassion without structure is just emotion. Wisdom without structure is theory. And the Rotary Foundation is where the two are put into action and become impact. So now, dear friends, please tell me, my dear Rotary family, is there a better, a more compassionate, a wiser way to touch and transform lives than doing it through our Rotary Foundation? And please tell me, would we ever, or could we ever stop saving lives of our children, of our future generations? That is possible with only 2 drops at the cost of a cup of coffee or even less. Well, we know the answer. Of course, we would not. Of course, we could not, and we will not. This is our legacy. This is our promise to the world. This is our wonderful path of Rotary, becoming future's good ancestors. Thank you very much. And lastly, my big wish is that may the sweetest cookies and cakes accompany you throughout your lives for your efforts to struggle forward.
Thank you very much, Hasan Akbara. And I'd like to invite, PPG Nikolai to work with me. I also not been live. Now, we move on to the next session to introduce upcoming events, programs, gatherings, and exciting opportunities to engage, connect, and contribute. Rotary International Zone 21 Institute. And please join me in welcoming past district governor and Region 25 Rotary membership coordinator, Hakan Kararioğlu, to the stage.
Well, good evening. We are still here. Well, it's my big privilege to be here again. Thank you very much for the organizing committee, Altan and Nicola, for giving us a chance to tell you the sunshine of Antalya. There is going to be Zone Institute in Antalya, which will 8th of November 2026. But just to show our commitment today, we are here as PDG Gülperi Gülpınar. She is from also our advisory committee. Also Institute Secretary Bekir Turgut here, and also PDG Hasan Akbayrak, he is surgeon at arms. Would you invite you to the stage, please? Because we are a team. It's a strong team is preparing institute for you. From the sunshine to the beach. Now there's going to be an introduction video for you, just to show what you are going to do, what you are going to see. I just few minutes ago talked to my friends in Antalya. What they said, now they are on the beach, it's sun shining. As you know, November is a season now. Therefore, it's not only going to be an institute, but also at the same time, there's going to be time for you to enjoy at Ela Excellence Resort Hotel. The hotel, the system that we all inclusive, you'll enjoy all the day long, also in the evenings. Well, from technical desk, could I ask our video, please, with all our team? This is see you in Antalya, November 2026. And invite you to have all best our forward and let's give you that time.
We're delighted to invite you for the 2036 Rotary Zone Institute in stunning Antalya 38. See you there.
Well, we have this document. I believe Gülperi, PDG Gülperi gave it, but if you wish, there is also the details. Also, Emmanuel Katangore, Rotary International District Elect, Director Elect, and also Getamane Co-Convener Pest Trustee. They also sent their regards to all of you, and we are expecting you to see there in Antalya Zone Institute. You're more than welcome. On behalf of all our team, we are a committed team with a strong team. We are expecting you over there. Thank you very much.
See you in Antalya. Hope to I don't know. I said, see you in Antalya. Let's be together. Our friendship is much more important. We are together and we will share our thoughts and our Rotary experiences all together. Please join us. Merci.
For the next presentation, please welcome Rotary Yusuf Ziyare for Taipei Congress.
Again, my dear Rotary family, I know everybody is very tired. I don't want to take up too much time. Everyone here now is very well. We are approaching one of the most inspiring moments in the Rotary calendar, the Rotary International Convention, and this year, Taipei, Taiwan. We welcome of thousands of Rotarians from every corner of the world. Steve Ancient campus meet cutting edge technology where hospitality leads in this energy and fear. Most importantly, service, evolve satisfies a perfect new home for a week and 4 critical days. Imagine this convention walking side by side with 20,000 Rotarians who speaks dozens of languages but share exactly same heartbeat. This is not just a convention. This is a powerful reunion of the global Rotary family. Mark your calendar. Now, I will briefly introduce the convention. What's in Rotary International Convention? Why attend the 2026 Rotary International Convention in Taipei? Taipei, Taipei Convention, Taipei Zone, and Tennis Hall 1 and Hall 2. Program and events. House of Friendship, very activity. There will be an polygonal sailing tour. There will be an polygonal run. Taiwan Opera, Post Hospitality Night, National Symphony Orchestra Rotary Evening Gala, from there to the New World. There will be also be tours for the attendants. Taipei cuisine, most activities, ve Tayvan Taipei.
Because in Taipei, we now long way to welcome.
What I am. You are not registered to the convention for Rotary International in Taipei, but you cannot miss this event. It's the greatest event in this year and probably in the history of Rotary. You have to register soon, today, maximum tomorrow, because we all and we are waiting for you in Taipei, Taiwan in June 2026.
See you in Taipei. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we continue with another important event, World Polio Day. Past President Alpay Turan has been allowed to have this respect.
The sections of the last speech. Hi, you are tired, I am now, I know that, but you have to listen to me, sorry.
Polio deyince.
Sorry. Sorry. I would like to do something, I would like to say something. When you do something, when you do the objective of what we do, what we work, what we our completions, what are our conclusions about the world, to go outside this hotel, to go outside the streets, and now what we are doing this? What is us? How do people see us? Would you like to have a conversation 1 week ago? My daughter lives in Istanbul, and he take a video.
Polio deyince aklınıza ne geliyor?
Araba mı?
Politik.
Polio.
A condition That's, you want to be human.
It's eradicated in my country at least. Peki Rotary deyince aklınıza ne geliyor?
100. yılın Anadolu Lisesi.
So, nothing of green coffee, too, so you should even, so I don't think.
You see, there are unmet needs in Rotary. We have to solve some problems. I would like to mention briefly the polio. Polio is a virus caused contagious disease. It's very infectious disease. I would like to mention about the polio vaccine. Jonas Salk really is very famous person. I would like to mention something. In 1954, Gallup poll showed that more Americans knew about the polio field trials than they could give the full name of the president. Do you believe in that? Yeah. In 1954, Jonas Salk is a very marvelous person, and he is the best person of the USA, not USA, on the also in the earth. Last, we will see the painting from the Spanish one. The polio epidemics were relatively new in Europe and USA in the late of the 19th and early 20th centuries. In 1960, major polio outbreaks in New York City killed more than 2,000 people. Across the USA, polio takes the lives of about 6,000 people and paralyzes thousands more. And disability affects the families because disability is very bad for the family. As you see the Iron Man. In 1930, 200 scientists invented the Iron Man. As you see, there is no any, at that time, there is no any vaccine. Unfortunately, in 1955, the vaccine is developed. What about the surveillance problem? As you see, 2 years ago, a surveillance program, there is a circulating poliovirus is seen in New York and London, in Israel also. There is a problem which show us we don't have to be safe because all the problem is done. As you see, Philippines started the first polio program. This is the multi-year project to immunize 6 million children in the Philippines. In 1965, Rotary International launches the Polio Plus, the first and largest internationally coordinated private sector support of the public health initiative program. In 1988, Rotary International and the WHO launched the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. There are estimated 350,000 cases of polio in 125 countries. In 1995, Rotary launches the Polio Plus Partners Program. In 2009, Rotary overall contribution to the eradication nears $800 million. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation pledges $355 million and issues Rotary Challenge Grant $200 million. Rotary surpasses its
100 million challenge fundraising goal more than 3 months earlier than expected in 2012. In 2011, Rotary welcomes celebrities and other major figures. This close program. So in 1994, Americans has been eliminated from the polio. In 2012, India is removed the list of endemic polio. In 2004, 3 full years without the new case caused by the polio. In 2000, Western Pacific region is declared polio-free. In 2020, WHO certifies the African region by polio-free. And 2 countries have a white polio virus. So we have to celebrate the Rotary Day to learn, to share, and to donate. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, as we bring this important summit to a close, we are reminded that the story of world eradication is not only a public health achievement, but a powerful testament to what humanity can accomplish through solidarity, determination, and shared purpose. And the distinguished speakers and participants remind us that developing polio awareness and our fight against polio still matter. And that we are not fighting a disease. In fact, we are shaping a healthier future for generations to come. This requires teamwork. Now, it's my honor and pleasure to invite the chair of the organizing committee, past President Yaşar Yiğit, for his closing remarks.
Dear fellow Rotarians, about 6 months ago, we as the Rotary Club of Adana began preparation for the summit. Under the leadership and guidance of our Rotary Public Image Coordinator Altan Arslan, with the support of our dear friend Kemal Atilla, District Governor-elect, all our club members and our organization committee worked hard and hopefully completed the summit with success. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to this summit, we have contributed to raising awareness for polio in our country and around the world. We are therefore very happy. That said, I now would like to take the liberty to thank our team members in the organization committee, with whom I had the privilege to work with while organizing this summit. And last but not least, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of your dear guests for coming from nearby city and country to participate in the summit, for being with us and for sharing experience and friendship. Thank you.
Please welcome PDG and co-convener of the Zone Summit, Nikola Bozic, for his closing remarks.
Dear Rotary family, in next 45 minutes, I would like to wrap up everything mentioned here. Thank you very much for every presentation. Thank you very much for the hospitality. And thank you very much for the opportunity to present to the Rotary world a new approach to connect public image and awareness about different projects of Rotary, in this case about polio eradication. It is the most important thing that we can bring from this meeting. It is that every person can do something. Every person can spend a time, be a volunteer, give a presentation, or make a donation. Only together with the synergy of our ideas, of our energies, and of our giving to the Rotary Foundation, we will fight this disease until the last case. And all of us will be the part of the history that humankind, led by Rotary International, succeeded to erase this disease from our planet. Please have that in mind. Spread the message among other Rotarians and among non-Rotarians. Explain what you heard here, what you learned here, and I hope that tonight all of us will be satisfied with lessons learned and with the amount that we will prize at the auction. And I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the auction for a second time. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes.
I would like to invite District Governor nominee Kemal Atilla to the stage for a vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Please join me in welcoming PDG and co-convener of the Zone Summit, Altan Arslan, to the stage for his closing remarks.
Good evening. Dear friends, dear Rotarians, as we come to the end of this summit, I would like to thank all of you for your valuable participation and contributions. During these 2 days, friends from nearly 20 different countries can come together. We shared ideas, experiences, and most importantly, a common belief that together we can make the world better. This is the true spirit of Rotary, people of action working together for a better future. Our work does not end here. The fight against polio continues until the very last case. And our efforts in our Rotary's 7 focus areas must continue to grow. Let us live here with renewed energy and commitment. Let us continue to unite for good. Let us create lasting impact. And wherever we go, let us be the inspiration. Thank you for being part of this meaningful gathering. Safe travels and hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'd like to invite I also have to say that the commemorative gifts are the award-winning photographs of the international photograph competition held by Adana Rotary Club for over 25 years, I think. Yeah, very special gifts. That's fine. Thank you. Now it's my honor to invite the Rotary International District 2430 District Governor Can Çırgan to the state policy.
Thank you. My Rotary family, I am, well, said closing remark, and there is that much to close. So we are going to close this summit maybe, but as everything which are fine, beautiful, and Georgia's, you have to close it. I don't want to close this summit because it was one of the best summits, I think, in our zone. So I'd like to thank Adana Rotary Club. I'd like to thank whoever is working for us for this summit, and also all the facilitators, all the people who are talking and sharing all their ideas to us. So I'm very happy to be here because in my turn this summit happened, so it was a gift for me also. So I would like all your interest, all your meaningful participation. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything who gives their heart to you. Thank you.
I'd like to invite DGM Now it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Ziyaret Trustee Troy Okora. I think you are connected. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. It has indeed been a very long day. First, again, let me apologize for not being with you in person in Turkey. But you know, having listened to all the presentations and being with you from yesterday to today, it's only my physical presence that you didn't have. I've enjoyed every speech, every communication. I want to thank RPIC Altan and EPNC Nicola for all their efforts in trying to bring me to Turkey. Thank you so much. Thank you for the organizers. Thank you for making polio a priority in this summit. Our public image, like I said earlier, the best way to shine our image as Rotarians is to talk about our legacies. We must learn our stories by ourselves. If we don't talk about the good things we do, who will? As for polio eradication, is a promise we've made to the children of the world that we deliver a polio-free world. A polio-free world we must deliver. It is no longer if, it is now when. We are closer than we've ever been, and the whole world is standing still to have the second human disease eliminated. So on behalf of the Rotary Foundation, I want to thank you all for all you do, for the passion you bring to bear, for your donations, for your advocacy, for your awareness creation. My promise to you is very soon, when this menace is eliminated, history would have recorded you for all you have done. You will be part of this legacy, and our children's children will know that you were part of this history. Once again, thank you so much. For some of you, I'll see you very soon. For most of you, I look forward to seeing you in Taipei. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let us continue to unite for good so that we can create lasting impact. Thank you so much. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. By your presence, and we thank you for your contribution, for your support to the summit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you. And now, I would like to invite the organizing committee chair, Vice President Yaşar, to close the summit. But before closing, I'd like to invite the members of the organizing committee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kemal lazım.
And now, I'd like to invite for the workers and for us.
I am closing the summit with my wish, let's unite for good.